Hello, everybody.
Hello! We are two as one. I am Karen,
I'm Andres.
and we are here today to talk about how to heal from a breakup. Turn your heartbreak into the wake-up call you didn't know you needed.
Right?
How about that? How you like them apples?
We are here to talk about the things that you need to hear, but sometimes you reject, you refuse. But good stuff.
It is good stuff
It is.
because when you have your heart broken, you just went through a breakup, it can feel devastating. It can literally feel like the end of your world.
Yep.
Yes.
That is not the end of the world. Could be the beginning of something beautiful.
Absolutely. It could be the beginning of your life. And I always love to quote Steve Jobs. He, in his 2005 commencement speech at Stanford University, he said, sometimes the thing that seems like the worst thing that ever happened to you turns out to be the best thing that ever happened to you. And if you are in the depths, in the darks, in the throes of a breakup right now, this is for you. If you know somebody who's in this space, share this with them because you need all the inspiration and feedback, because we're going to give you 5 tools, 5 things to do when you're in that space so that you can dig your way out and use this to propel you forward, to get through, not to ignore and pretend this didn't happen. That's not ever the way to go, but to get through it, feel it, process it, get it out of you and move on.
That could be the catalyst to get the best version of you to this world.
Absolutely. And I think that you and I both have done that, haven't
I guess, yeah.
we? And
Was not easy, was not fun, but
totally worth it, because staying in that other space, that is not the way to go, like at all.
No.
And we all know people who have, whether it's had a breakup or a divorce, and they have stayed in that space for decades, for the rest of their lives. Is that really how you want to go? Is that how you want to live your life? Is that the legacy you want to leave?
yeah, the last episode we talked about the don't let your past define who you are. So that's part of the process. So you need to overcome
Yeah,
from those experiences.
perfect lead in, right?
Right?
Yes. This is an opportunity to reinvent yourself, come out on the other side stronger, more resilient, and actually more attractive. You know why you look more attractive when you have all those other things? Because you you literally raised your frequency, your vibration. And when a strong person just feels better to be around, right?
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just get the fact to get more conscious about yourself and trying to improve in order to try to find your loved one, and that's something that we need to do it all the time. Try to stay in that level always.
Yeah. So let's get right into it, because I know you need these tools as quickly as possible. So, first thing is no contact. You gotta cut that off, because the longer you stay in contact, oh, I just want to send them a message, and I know you are gonna have all kinds of desires and drives that is telling you must send this message. Do not send the message if that drive is really there. Put it in your journal. Write it in your journal. Do not reach out to that person. Erase their phone number, block them, get off of all social media, block them, delete them off of all of your social media. You do not want to see anything of what they're doing. Do not do that to yourself. You're just going to prolong the pain that you are in right now.
You don't need
Don't do
those
it.
breadcrumbs.
No, absolutely not. So just don't do it. Cut that right now. For sure.
Definitely.
Big time.
Doesn't help.
No, no, no. Number two is reconnect with yourself. Many times we've gotten lost in that relationship, especially if we knew that things were going that way, and we might be throwing ourselves even more into begging them, trying to throw money at them, do all kinds of things, engaging in fights and wondering what am I doing wrong? How can I get them to stay? All these different things. You have many times lost yourself or forgotten who the heck are you at this point. So this is the perfect time to get back to who wait a minute, who am I? Who am I now? Because now you're a little bit older, a little more life experience, and you're a different person. So perfect time to
Yeah, definitely.
do that.
Absolutely. Find the things the gonna help you. Riding, hiking, um, your physical appearance. Go to the gym, workouts, and start to mm,
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
better.
And yeah, especially with the writing, I think that's a really good thing because uh, it's good to really take a look at who are you now. Like I said, write out all the feelings, all the thoughts, all the questions that you have. What happened? What was the patterns? Who do I want to be? What do I like to do? Remember back, what are some things that maybe you stopped doing when you got with this person?
Is that part of the journaling? Oh, it's something different.
Well, I mean, it's both. I think really journaling is really helpful because otherwise we have a lot of these things tumbling around in our head, and they're very ephemeral. I'm a big fan of putting things on paper. That doesn't mean you have to write, a 5 paragraph paper every day. It's just because when we have all these thoughts tumbling around and we're thinking, and of course, when does it happen most? At nighttime, when it's time for us to go to sleep, and there's no other distractions. So then what we do is then we try to distract ourselves with TV and games and uh, porn and God knows what else, right? Shopping and whatever.
Not my case.
Good. But you just pass out, right? But other people are not that lucky. So take that time, do what I call a brain dump, put it on paper, and it really becomes more of a processing when you put it on paper, because also then you can look back and then you can see, oh wow, yesterday I was really in a bad place, and you can see more what it was that was going on. I have one person that tough one to work with because they were really into just losing themselves in that relationship. But the few times that this person did go ahead and write some things down, and when he looked back at it, it's like, wow, this was really bad. I can't believe that I was treated that way. I totally forgot that it was that bad. So this can be a reminder of why it might be a good thing that you're not in that relationship anymore, right?
Yep.
We tend to romanticize all the good things
Hmm.
when we're in that. And some people, we're all different and we all had different relationships, right? So some people romanticize and remember all the good things. Some people remember all the bad things. But it could still be, some people are happy that they're out of that, and some people it's like, oh no, because the relationships can really be a big giant mind fuck. I'm telling you. and yeah, I don't know what else to say. Just that. Go out in nature because that is a great way to just take some time to process, let your mind go,
Yeah.
connect with
Connect with nature.
nature. When we go in nature, it increases our serotonin levels. It truly
Yeah.
does.
Go to the beach if it's possible.
Yeah.
Take out your shoes, socks, and let her work on you, the energy.
Yeah.
And that's gonna change your mood.
Get grounded. Yeah.
Get grounded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So lots of research that shows. Finally got that piece of hair that was annoying me. That shows how that has physiological effect on you. Walking barefoot in nature. There's even I've seen where they took a little bit of blood, just a little finger prick, put it on a little glass, looked at it in a no, horoscope,
Microscope.
microscope, different kind of scope, and and then they looked at the platelets where first they were all sticky, and then the person told the person to go outside 15 minutes barefoot, walk around, and then came back, did another finger prick, did another piece of drop of blood, looked in the microscope, and now all the platelets, they were separated and floating around the way they're supposed to, which is really cool. Just
Wow.
that just talk about how nature
Yeah.
has a positive effect on us. So
Yeah.
there you go. Ask yourself these questions. What makes me happy? Maybe you forgot, right? Let's rediscover what makes you happy and what makes you happy now. What have I been neglecting, right? Probably you may have been neglecting a lot of things for yourself. And who am I now, right? So those are some great journal prompts right there to process and think about when you're walking or bicycling out in nature, getting grounded with your bare feet, right?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. Number 3,
So deep.
you were talking about exactly that, physical activity.
Definitely. That's the beginning. That's the beginning of the change. At least it was for me. When you are looking at the mirror and you realize who you want to be, the person that you are looking at, and then something inside of you start to change, and you start to love yourself much, and try to change the some things in your life that may are not working at that time, and I don't know, it's the beginning. That's the basic stuff for me, at least it was.
Yeah. And a couple other things. One, I know for me when I was going through my divorce that bicycling, I've always loved bicycling, but again, I also had a kid at the time, so I did not, want to take a lot of time away, didn't want to miss out on time. So, but I started to go out bicycling again, and just that whole thing of being physically active. So what you're doing when you're being physically active, no matter what it is, walking, bicycling, swimming, going to the gym, whatever, it doesn't matter, playing basketball, tennis, you name it. What you're doing is you are allowing your body to work through and literally work through those emotions and that energy, and because our body is in some form of fight, flight, or freeze when we're going through that change, and so the body wants to work through it, and when we allow our body to work through it, then it's kind of like we get to complete it in a way, in a physical way. Plus, it also changes. We all know now you are burning off the cortisol, and your body's producing endorphins, which is a natural pain reliever, both physically and emotionally. So you're turning on your own pharmaceutical department that is
Yeah.
the best one in the entire world. We know there's plenty of research that shows that exercise is the best antidepressant and anti-anxiety there is. So go out there, get physical, and then there are the wonderful side benefits of starting to look better, right?
Definitely.
When you get fit, when you start building some muscle, and maybe you're losing some weight that you gained that you don't need. Nobody needs the extra weight. It's just
Yeah.
more weight on your joints and all the things.
And that help you to clear your mind as
Yeah.
well. You can become more with sharp mind,
Yeah.
and to take decisions, to move forward and start to seeing things from another perspective.
That is very true. And so what I was starting to say was when I was going through my divorce and I was out bicycling, what I noticed these waves of sadness come up, and guilt, and all the things that come up in that time. And I do EMDR when I work with people, with the majority of people, and the part that the magic part of EMDR is the bilateral stimulation, whether it's eye movements from side to side. But when you're walking or bicycling, you're also doing bilateral stimulation. And so it's kind of like a natural form of doing EMDR and therapy on yourself. And a wave of emotions would come up. I would be crying and bicycling, and then that wave was done. It's like, okay, I've processed that, whatever that was, and moving on. So it's very therapeutic.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's beautiful. I remember those days riding bike in New York. That was the best time ever.
And I'm going riding your bicycle in New York with all those cars. That's crazy.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
The best way to know a city is riding a bike.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. When you're driving, you have to pay attention to all the things. So, okay, that was number 3. Number 4, I know how to count. Number 4 is secure your money. So get clear on your money, because that also can put us in some level of survival mode, right? And maybe you have overspent on the relationship, and to save it, or whatever you were in that relationship. Maybe you were attempting to be the hero, the rescuer, or maybe whatever it is. There's all kinds of dynamics in relationships. But take a look at your finances. Start creating a budget. Start putting some savings away, because when we are able to put some savings away, we can start to feel a little bit more secure, a little more grounded, and yeah. So that is a really good thing.
Yep, definitely.
Maybe it's time to start to upgrade some of your skills. Maybe it's time you can get a little side hustle. And as you gain more control of your money, it's also empowering, and you're going to feel more confident as well.
Absolutely. As the Bible says, the money is not everything, but it's really important, because it's a shield that's gonna protect you and your family. And as you said, it's gonna give you a lot of confidence, actually. But don't mistake that. Sometimes people gonna appreciate it because you have money, or you are the one who like to spend a lot of money. So that's something to take in consideration as well.
For sure.
Yep.
And 5, last but not least, is setting standards. A lot of people, we in our culture, get caught up in being a failure, and it was a waste of my time. But as you say, nothing's ever a waste of time, right?
Oh, it's an experience.
It's an experience. That's what we're here for. We're here to experience this thing called life. And it has a lot of emotions, it has a lot of relationships, and there's a lot of trying on things. So I like to encourage you to think of yourself as a researcher. Put on your lab coat, and just everything you do is an experiment. And sometimes those experiments go the way we'd like them to do, and sometimes they can be a disaster. So what do we do when it's a disaster? Well, let's go ahead and what did I learn from that, right? And use that moving forward. And that's exactly what this can be for you as well, this breakup, this relationship. It's like, what was going on in this relationship? I know I have one that felt like where did that relationship come from? That, I think that was some sort of karmic debt. I don't know what happened. Whatever. So glad that one's done with. And others is like, okay, well, that was, I learned a lot from that relationship. I learned how to, be better at expressing myself in the relationship, and a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I don't want these things. I know I want this, right? And then hence this came into my life, right? This God walked into my life, which is exactly what I wanted. So
yeah, it's not such a thing as a bad experience. I know it's difficult when you are going through that situation, but if we always say it, when you zoom out the situation, you will see all the aspects, and you're gonna start to analyze better and take the things that gonna help you.
Yeah.
To
maybe you discovered that, wow, I accepted being disrespected on a level that that's not going to work for me. So then moving forward, as you start moving into dating people again, then you're gonna know respect is a high priority for me. That's a non-negotiable, and so uh, this is something that can again be the push that puts you into such a more powerful place personally, and yeah.
Yeah, remember, there's not a such a thing that love without respect, and it's not respect without of love. Both of them are the same level.
Mm.
This go together at the same level.
Exactly,
Yep.
exactly. So just know this. Let's wrap up with the fact that while this can be a dark, feeling like the end of your world part of your life, it is not. It is not. We promise you, we've been there, and so have probably the rest of the population. It's just part of the life experience. It does end, especially when you put these tools and recommendations into work. You will not get stuck there. I'm not going to say you're not going to feel it. You do need to feel it and let yourself feel it. Um, but then it's also going to be moving on and growing from it. And you can use this experience to turn yourself into a person that you can be really proud of, a person that is now ready for the love of your life, something that's a real healthy relationship, that you are now uh, at the level of meeting your true soulmate, which is what we're all about. This is all about getting you ready to meet your soulmate, and how you then maintain a healthy, happy marriage, right?
I believe our experience in this planet, in this beautiful planet, is love. We are here to experience love.
Mm.
That's the only reason that we are here.
Yeah, I agree, and that's apparently where what my goal in life was, and there was no giving up until I found it, and I just knew it was out there, and here it is.
Yep.
Also, within the next week or so, I'm going to have my free 6-week mindset challenge ready to go, and I'm really excited about it. So that'll be something that can start to lay the foundation of this whole process, that because our mindset is the ground rule for everything. So when you have the right mindset, you can get through anything, whether it's financial hardship, spiritual hardship, relationship hardship, you name it, physical health hardship. Your mindset will determine how you get through it. So this is huge, and that will
It
be
is.
ready for you to participate in the next week or so. We will keep you updated on that. Also, there is my book, that Achieving Peace, Purpose, and Prosperity, available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble, which is a workbook. And at the end of every chapter, there's something that you can work on. So that is also something that can help you do some of this work that I do with my clients. Outside of that, subscribe, like, comment, let us know what some of your experiences are, let us know what some of your questions are, any other topics you want us to talk about, share with other people, and there we are.
Thank you.
Love you. Go out and shine your beautiful inner light.